Welcome back to Down the Track, and KKR inch ever so close to the playoffs. I think they've qualified, but there's still some formalities to be done. A thumping win versus the Rajasthan Royals, absolute dominance, and I want to see people praising Owen Morgan and Brendan McCullum. But I have my co-host Abraziz. How are you doing, man?
Oh man, what a game that was! Quite sensational to be honest. With the way it was clearly a slowish track, but to get to that 170 mark, the way they did, the platform that the openers and the top three kind of set for them, and then the way pretty much the top four kind of put them through, and then in Morgan with that little bit of cameo in the end to get them past that 170 score, and then with the way they bowled, I mean 30 odd for seven at one point, 85
Yeah,
was just a formality. I
really
mean,
helps the net run rate. I think Mumbai's out of
exactly.
reach right now, man.
I think they'll have to win in like 4 overs now for them to kind of even stand take a chance. I guess the 8 overs is not going to be enough for them in the next
Yeah,
game. So I think it's pretty much done now. To be very honest, I think it's like they're at plus point 0.7 or something, and these guys are minus point 0.3. You have a
yeah.
whole 1 point difference in net run rate in one game is
It's
uh,
done, man.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite hard.
Because the way they won, if they won in the last over, super over, something, it might have like Mumbai still would have to like chase it in 8, 10 overs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But to finish it off like that, unbelievable. And yeah, just if you look at their batting, Shubman Gill and Iyer, they took their time, but it was not an easy pitch, so they did a really good job. Gill with another 50, he's finding form at the right time.
Absolutely, and I think whatever credit you give to these this the management, I think the way they stuck with Gill, even though he was underperforming, and the way they found this gem in Venkatesh Iyer, and just backing the likes of Rana and Tripathi to come after them. That's your. I think that KKR is the only team who doesn't have an Indian batsman, who doesn't have a foreign batsman in the top four. If you think about it, almost everyone
Yeah.
else will probably have like at least one proper foreign batsman to go out there and like get that experience out there, like some big name or something like that. And it was a little like it was a little like how Delhi played initially. Like Delhi probably is another team that has those top four with Prithvi Shaw, Dhawan, Punt and Shreyas Iyer, who are probably like. So you see, there's a lot of when they have something like that, it becomes very easy for them to play these swashbuckling bowlers or these swashbuckling all-rounders or these fast bowlers, and the likes of Loki Ferguson, the likes of Rabada for Delhi. These are that's when these guys make the difference, and then you have the flexibility of having these beautiful all-rounders in Shakib and Sunil Narayan come through the ranks as well, for them. So I think that this is a team that has the momentum going for them. They've won. They had a very small chance of making it to playoffs. I think Harsha Bhogle tweeted this as well. Of making players, they were at seventh position when the IPL restarted, and then with the way they've gone on the next 6 games, I think they won five, and really change things around for them is commendable, and a lot of credit to the management and a lot of credit to the captain. This is a solid side, and beware of this side. This side is going in with some serious momentum.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you made a really good point. Also, the Indian batsman is not as experienced as the Delhi, Indian
Exactly.
batsman.
Yeah.
So it's about backing them. Like Venkatesh Iyer, the way, Brendan McCullum got him into the team, Owen Morgan as well, backing him and telling him it's okay to fail. Like in the past few games, he did not perform, and they expected that. They already told him it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're backing them, and then you're right, the middle order, the all-rounders, they're playing the bowling. It's stacked right now, and I think they probably have in this Dubai leg. They look like the strongest bowling lineup with the three spinners
Yeah.
and the fast bowlers. Yes, Russell got injured as well, right? So without
Yeah. So the
Russell,
Shakib comes in
yeah,
as
it's a
an able
blessing in
replacement.
disguise because a slower pitch, Sakib on these pitches can be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So it's a blessing in disguise, and absolutely hats off to them. If you look at the bowling, how happy are you for Shivam Mavi, man, picking up 4 wickets? I think he was outstanding in the Under 19 World Cup, and now some injuries in his career, but now he's really flourishing.
Absolutely, I think it's very very heartwarming to see like a young bowler come through the ranks. There's so much backing that KKR has given him. He's been injured, he's been in and out of the side, he's performed poorly as well. But just back him up to keep that come. There are a couple other players that KKR got as well. I think the likes of Kamlesh Nagarkoti was one of the other players
Yeah,
that has got his due chances over there. So this is KKR side. I really like the way they are thinking, the way they are. they go out and buy this young talent, and they buy this talent, and they back them through thick and thin, and then you get every now and again you get these kind of performances from them, and then it's all worth it, right? All the time that they've spent on them is all worth it. So absolutely very happy for him. I hope that he takes these performances, gets a good run of games, gets some good performances in, and then take his game to the next level, hopefully.
Yeah, and Loki Ferguson, man, Pat Cummins missing out has been a blessing in disguise. I think he loves being the spearhead, and it's about getting games. I think more than anything else. When he was playing, he wasn't playing every game. Like sometimes he would play with Pat Cummins, sometimes he wouldn't play, would be benched. But he's really taken the mantle of the spearhead, and he's bowled fantastically well. Like every game so far, whenever he's played, he's been injured in the last couple of games, but he came back now and he's been spot on.
Absolutely, man. Just really, really looking. He's looking a sensational bowler. There's a lot of bowlers, and pretty much everyone in this team is pretty much auctioning for the next big IPL. So if any good
Yeah.
performances will get noticed, and the likes of Loki Ferguson, the likes of Mavi, these guys will get noticed for sure. They will hopefully get big contracts in the upcoming auction. So it's good on them. I think some of the players with this kind of talent is it's good that they'll get these big contracts to go into the next years. What they will do when they get big contracts remains to be seen. We've seen the likes of Jaydev Unadkat and stuff like that, who have gone for big money and have struggled. But I think it's going to be important to see how things pan out. But I think on the basis of current form, I think like you said, the KKR bowling unit is just looking extremely complete and compact, with the likes of Loki, Mavi, Narayan, who's come back, even though he might not be taking that many wickets, but he's kind of being economical and helping the others take the wickets in and around him. Varun Chakravarti has been a revelation. Shakib coming in place of injured Russell has been helpful for them as well. So I think the Ducks have fallen in order for KKR, and they'll probably finish fourth, obviously. So it'll be between RCB and CSK pretty much who they face, and whoever
It's
they face.
RCB.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, because RCB lost yesterday. Sunrisers denied them the chance of
But then
coming in the top.
CSK lost today too, right? So I think that there is a possibility. I think, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong,
on
but
net run rate. Yeah, on net
yeah,
run rate.
so they
There
might
is a
need a
possibility.
slightly bigger win or something of
Yeah.
the sort. I might be unlikely against DC, but yeah, it's just a matter of who it is. But whoever it is, I think that they'll be they will be wary of this KKR side for sure.
I think KKR is the most dangerous side in the playoffs, just because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know which KKR shows up, and if they really get going, it becomes very difficult to stop them. Delhi, you know their strengths, right? You know their weaknesses. Like it's hard to stop those strengths, but at least you're more aware. With RCB, again, it's a bit more transparent. And Chennai, we know they have a stacked batting lineup, but there's some weaknesses. KKR, they have ton of weaknesses, but then one guy works or two guys work, it becomes very difficult. And when you're bowling as a unit like this, it's very difficult to stop. This is what wins you championships. This is how Sunrisers won in 2016. They had a proper bowling unit. No matter what scores on the board, they would defend it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think pretty much even the way Mumbai have won over the past 3 to 5 years. I mean, the 5 trophies that they have won in the past 8-10 years has been because of good bowling units. Their batting has of course been good, but the bowling has been the champion bowlers that they found in the likes of Bumrah, Malinga, the spinners that they found. They've been a champion bowling side, and that's why they've won more than they've lost.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just quickly on Rajasthan, a bit sad the way they've, basically tapered off in this tournament. But, some positives there. And also, they didn't have some of the main players, but some positives there, the likes of Evan Lewis, contributed. Jaiswal had a good contribution. Dubey showed some sparks. So some good positives there.
I think one of the things that they'll be very disappointed in will be the way they capitulated in the past two games for a meager below 100 score.
Yeah,
90 in the
Sharjah
last game.
just hasn't been the Sharjah. They were thinking about a different Sharjah coming into this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 90 in the last game, the 85 in this game. It's just very moral. It's like a downer for them. The way they've kind of ended this tournament is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But like you said, they didn't have a lot of their players. One thing that maybe I'm a little too judgmental on, but I'm starting to think about, is the fact that I think Sanju Samson as a captain, I'm sure there's like, I mean, he's a good captain and everything. I mean, there is inexperience in there and everything as well. But I'm noticing his keeping suffer because of his captaincy. I've noticed a few
He did
times he
drop
dropped a few catches, and then there were a couple of easy takes that went through over the four.
That's true.
Chris
That's
Morris, he's
true.
thinking a lot. He's thinking a lot,
Yeah.
and maybe he's not focused on the keeping aspect of things. Some people it doesn't work out. Like for Dhoni, he grew on that, but maybe for a punt he's starting to look a decent wicketkeeper batsman captain as well. But
Yeah.
for some people, it just doesn't work. So they might have to. Maybe it's too early to say, but they might have to think of that as maybe look for a captain in the auction, and if they get one, maybe consider that as an option.
Also, they don't have an experienced player, right? Like, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, they could fall on
Dhawan. Yeah.
Dhawan, on Steve Smith. They have people around, right?
Yeah.
Over here, you have your coaches, but on the field, who do you look to? Like, it's very difficult. At that time, okay, you have Ben Stokes, Butler. There's still some people there, but I think that's also an issue. Like, you need a vice captain in these kind of situations when you have a young captain, I feel.
Absolutely, I think that's important. Very, very important.
And spinner, bro. They need to get a spinner. Like, they have to get a problem. We've already spoken about it, but yeah, sad for Rajasthan. But KKR, I'm really happy for them. I really like that captain. Owen Morgan is one of my favorite captains.
Oh, we all know that.
Yeah, he needs credit, man. I need to have a discussion with Akash Chopra because he's been very critical with Owen Morgan. And I just want to say something. Morgan has more runs than Dhoni, and they're both in the playoffs. So yes, he's not in form. Neither is Dhoni. They both need to get form. That's completely right. But this guy's an outstanding captain as well.
Absolutely, I think both of them are outstanding captains, and I think that definitely. I think in terms of form, I think Ian Morgan beats Dhoni, looking extremely out of sorts at this point in time.
So is Morgan, fair enough. But I'm just saying, if
but I think today's cameo would do him a world of good, I think.
Yeah, but that's why he's in the team. He's in the team for his captaincy, for taking these gutsy decisions, taking risks. That's how he plays. He plays a different kind of style, but it's working now, right? Like, it doesn't work all the time. His is way more riskier. He can fail more than somebody like a Dhoni, but it's taking that risk, and when it pays off, it looks so good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and just moving on to the next game, the first game, Chennai versus Punjab, very quickly. Faf scored a 70, low scoring again. But it was all about KL Rahul, man. This guy upped the strike rate when the season's ending. This is exactly what we needed from him. I think for Indian fans, it's fantastic. But Punjab fans were saying, where was the strike rate before?
I'm starting to think again, maybe a little critical, but I think that the mantle of being the captain, being the mainstay, is taking a toll on him. If you give him the license the way you gave him the license today, there's nothing they had nothing to play for today. The way also, they went out and the way KL
the management, sorry to cut you, but the management, the coach are not helping his case, bro. Like, Kumble, Wasim, Jaffer, I think they're complicating the guy's life. That's what I feel.
Yeah, it's tricky, this one. It's unfortunate because there's you see, like, today the way he played today. My God, some of the shots he hit is just sublime to watch. And that's the talent that this guy possesses. And I think that if anything is hindering that kind of talent, just take it away from him. If captaincy is hindering it, take it away from him. Let him be the batsman. With that kind of form, you'll win more games than you'll lose. Like, you can make Harmanpreet Brar the captain for all I care. Just let him do his thing. KL Rahul is the player. He is an unbelievable player. Just let him go out there and do this. 7 out of 10 times he does this, you win 7 out of 10 games. Who cares if he fails 2 or 3 times? That's all that matters. Just. Even if he does this 50% of the time, it's still pretty damn good. He'll take the game away from you. 99 of 42 balls, I think 98 of 42 balls or something. It wasn't it? But whatever it was, it's just so
98,
so
man.
98 of 42 balls, exactly. So wow, that's over 230. I think the strike rate is at that point. You'll win 9 out of 10 games like this. So again, just a little bit of the way the management is thinking. And there's probably like a little bit like with Rajasthan, there's like bigger issues to be kind of sorted over there. Just the fact that, because I think that Punjab has a good team. I think that it's just the making the proper 11 and then letting them gel has been a problem. And I think too much burden on KL Rahul. I think a little bit more needs to be distributed amongst the players around him. And it's a problem is, I think, top heavy. That if KL and Mayank go out, then there's nobody else to save you after that and stuff like that. These small things that need to be worked on in the auction for them. Punjab has finished 12 points in the past 4 seasons. Apparently 18, 19, 20, and 21 they finished 12 points. So they're just one step behind the playoffs for the past 4 years, and that will be a hard pill to swallow for them. So they will have to go that extra mile, and I think they'll need to be a little bit more shrewd in their business in the auction this time around.
Yeah. For me, the biggest problem was team selection. Appalling. Shocking team selection. Shah Rukh Khan, Ravi Bishnoi didn't play half the matches, and when they played, they won the games. Like, apart from 1 or 2, they've won.
Of course,
team selection has been appalling. They dropped Gale in one game as well. before he left, but like they dropped him in the first game of the Dubai leg. They did weird things, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they tried. I think they over try. I don't know why they do this, but it's been a problem for a long time. They overthink things, and they just need to get back to basics. This team can make playoffs, man. They can make it
yeah.
like at least 2 out of 4 years. They should have made the playoffs in the last 4 years because this team they had the players. They had KL Rao as peak. If you have a guy scoring like average 50 runs a game, average, and you're like not making the top four, that says a lot, man. Like, and they've lost games which they won basically, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you
It's
take that
it's
Rajasthan game, you flip that into a win. They're 14 points.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There are so many instances like that that they've had games that they had in their hand that they've lost. I think wasn't it that Rajasthan game you're talking about, like what 3 runs of the over and you go up end up losing it, and like the fact that Deepak Huda doesn't have the common sense to just leave a white ball, I still don't get it. I cannot
Yeah.
fathom that.
That extra pressure, there's something there, like, mentally as well. There might be extra pressure. There might be a different type of burden that all these players are thinking. And that comes down to the team management. Maybe,
Absolutely.
yeah, they'll have to work on that relationship for sure. But Chennai, I'm not too worried about their form. They lost the last couple of games. I think they're a big match team. When it comes to the knockouts, they'll come back again. But there are a few weaknesses there. Their batting hasn't worked in the last couple of games.
That there are chinks in the armor, but then like I think, like you said, I think almost everyone except for maybe Delhi seems to have like a lot of small issues that they need to
Yeah,
work on.
I think their issues are very little, Chennai, compared to other
Yeah,
teams.
yeah. The thing is, I think that if they lose 2-3 wickets quickly, because I think that so far Rituraj and today Rituraj didn't performed. So they are relying heavily on these two players. I think if both of them get out, and then let's say even Moin Ali and let's say Ambati Raidu just get out quickly, like let's say they're like a 60 for 4 in 10 overs or something like that. Who's going to take the mantle after that? Suresh Raina and Dhoni don't look like they're
Both of them
ready.
are out of touch, man. Like
Yeah,
both of them are out of touch for like the last year or so. Like
yeah. So
that's the
that
problem.
that could be a problem, and then they don't really have anyone after that. Like in terms of yes, Bravo can swing the bat around. Yes, Jaddu is there. He saved them every now
That's
and
a
again.
lot, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
saying.
other teams don't have that,
Yeah, and I
apart from
completely
maybe
agree.
KKR.
I
Yeah,
completely agree. They have batting until 9 or 10. Even Shardul Thakur can swing. We all know that
yeah.
he can bat well. But the problem is that you're not going to send a Shardul Thakur over Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and then a Mahendra Singh Dhoni, if he's chewing up a few too many balls, and then that 140 150 score suddenly becomes a 120 score, and then you are 10 15 runs short. So, these kind of small things will be a problem, but I don't think it's something to be extremely worried about. But it's just something to think about in when they go on, especially if they have to play, like let's say they lose to Delhi and they have to play an eliminator after that. They'll have to be wary of these small things.
Yeah, 100%. I would in these situations might just send Jadeja up the order. To be honest with you,
Absolutely.
if you need quick runs, just send him. You still have Bravo to finish
Yeah.
it off. So they have a lot of options in that sense. I don't think, like you said, like it's on the day, right? Like anyone can beat anyone. We saw Sunrisers were poor all season. They beat RCB, so anyone can beat anyone. And
But
CSK can
Sunrisers
have
always beats RCB. Doesn't matter.
That's true. I cannot argue with that 100%. But yeah, that's the thing with CSK. They can have a couple of bad days because there's some issues, uh, basically with Dhoni, right? Dhoni and Raina, that's where the issue comes. But apart from that, like if you just look at the overall team, they look stacked. They have something that other teams don't have. They have batting to 10. That makes it competitive. Delhi don't have that either. But the positive Delhi have is their bowling is outstanding. Like
Outstanding.
so.
But Delhi is not too bad. They have Ashwin at 8 and Rabada at 9 who can
Bro,
who can-
Ashwin, man, like I don't know what your obsession with Ashwin is. This is like, what is he gonna do in a T20, bro? Like he's gonna
I'm
like
just
turn
saying
your-
I'm just saying he can come in at 8 and bat.
compare that to Bravo. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Compare that to Bhuvi. We're still talking, right?
Yeah. They still have batting. Like they have
Yeah.
Akshar Patel, they have Ashwin. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like they do have batting.
Akshar Patel 7 and Ashwin
But
at
they
8
don't
is
have
not
like
terrible.
they need Hetmeyer to click. Jadeja, like he
Yeah.
will click, right?
Yeah.
Jadeja will click. Even if it doesn't click, you have Bravo.
Yeah.
These guys, if Hetmeyer doesn't click, it becomes a bit of an issue. Like
Problem.
because Stoinis is not there.
Stoinis is a big miss, I think. But they've done so far. They've done well without him. But I
Yeah.
think in the crunch situation when they really need someone to come in and give them a finishing touch, that could be tricky for them.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, no, 100%. Sorry, I've taken too much of your time. It was a
No,
double
it's
header.
fine.
But any
For
last
me,
thoughts you wanna talk-
KKR or Delhi to win it. Final.
the whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
My thing keeps changing every day. I was saying first Delhi, then I was saying RCB, then what's it called? KKR for me is the most dangerous side. But then Dhoni said something at the toss today. He said that I'm not going to be.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll see me in yellow colors, but I don't know if I'm going to be playing.
yeah. So if he's planning to leave, then that's a problem. He's gonna leave on a winning note. Aye, aye, aye.
That's what I'm not sure about because I thought he would retire in Chepauk, which is next season. But yeah,
I love Dhoni, but I can't see yellow win again, man. I cannot see that happen.
so basically, if these are the top four, then it's RCB and Delhi practically who can be the new winners. The other two have won the IPL.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want KKR to win. Like I really like KKR, but I don't want them to win because they'll be ahead of us then. Three championships.
Three
Right now
championships.
we're
Yeah,
tied too.
yeah. So let's have Delhi have it then.
Yeah, for me, like if I just look at it, if I just simplify it, I think KKR are the most dangerous team. And they're on a similar level in terms of bowling. Delhi have a more all-round team. Chennai have a stacked batting lineup, and RCB have Maxwell and Kohli and ABD.
Yeah. I mean, for the banter of it all, I don't want RCB to ever win in my lifetime, but that would just be for banter.
But that gives some confidence to the Indian captain if you look long term.
He's leaving anyway after this. He doesn't need confidence. It's okay.
But the World Cup, I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just one season. It's okay. It's just one World Cup. We'll win the next years.
Yeah, so it's good. That's why I thought RCB will win because he said he's resigning. So I thought he'll resign. So I don't know. Man.
But then Dhoni's also going now. So
You
yeah.
don't- Yeah. It'll be fun, but I think yeah, these probably will be the top four unless we see some major shock. But I think it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, take care. Tomorrow both games are at the same
time.
Yeah, so I think you'll be watching the RCB game. I'll watch the Sunrisers game, so we can
I
both
watch
cover.
Sunrisers game. You watch
Then
the
I'll
RCB.
have to watch the RCB game, and then we can both we watch both games, and then we'll share our notes on the games after that.
Sounds good, sir.
Thank you so much, man, and I will catch you soon. Take
Take
care.
care.